a good probability that the US will outlaw Bitcoin. Ray Dalio, Bridgewater's associate founders, joins influencers with Andy Sewer and shared his thoughts that the US government will outlaw Bitcoin. Obviously, we're going to ask you guys the same question. Is Bitcoin dangerous? Do you think the government will outlaw it? And more important, is that really feasible? Let's go to Oscar first. Will the government outlaw Bitcoin?
Ooh, quite tough for me, speaking as a German, to say how the regulators will act tomorrow. Yeah, we still don't know if our stores are allowed to open up tomorrow, if we are allowed to go to the supermarket. So it's unpredictable. The government and the regulators are unpredictable somehow. No idea.
Dan, Eve.
Never. You can't. You could ban it, but then people are going to have, like, you know, there'll be VPNs, there'll be other things, that other services that people use to get around it, and yeah, I just can't. It's just whack-a-mole, because as soon as it's like an arms race, isn't it? But an arms race with money, and there's that kind of synergy of the fact that, you know, you print money and you go to war. That's the historical thing for people to do. But it's an arms race of technology, and it's a cat and mouse game. You know, all those little sayings you can use. But as soon as you whack one mole, then another Bitcoin mole will pop up out of another hole with all sorts of, you know, different other coin joins and ninja tech. So I think it can't be killed, and I think that with the fact that, again, you know, I'm not picking Tesla all the time specifically, but they're $1 trillion company that now accept Bitcoin. So that's a huge thing, and that shows that, you know, this is someone that's going to the moon as well. You know, so his fingers in all these different pies. And surely, if someone who's been that successful and, you know, who's kind of lived the American dream, for example, you know, you're going to be cutting that off with Bitcoin as one of these latest technologies. So I think that any country now is seriously considering, rather than banning it, making a public statement about the uses of it in order to get ahead of the game in the latest arms race.
Josh Shigala, is Dan right? Have we flipped? Are they now ready for Bitcoin?
It's tricky. I mean, last week I said all governments will probably ban it eventually. But at the same time, I think about it a lot, and I think Dan's right. Like, first of all, you can't ban it, right? You can ban the on and off ramps, and that's all. You can ban it. You can put people in prison if they get busted. But what do governments really think about? They want their taxes. They want their share of value that's being created by citizenry that are within their geographical confines. And so how taxation has worked for 99% of human existence or government existence is been through threat of force. Through if we find out that you're lying, you'll go to prison. That not automatic like it is nowadays, where it's just automatically taken out of your wage, and if you know, if you don't pay it, they just reach into your bank account and take it. That's all very new. So I think they have no choice but to say, hey, we're going to you know, allow this stuff, because it's not just Bitcoin. You could say ban Bitcoin, but there's this whole realm of NFTs and game items, in-game items, and kids trading gun skins, and this will all be tokenized. So on top of that, you've got this whole DeFi space, which has got millions and billions of different coins, and you know, it's this huge ecosystem, and if you ban it, people will just go into the black market, and then you can't get anything. So I'm pretty sure that they won't ban it, but they will say, if we find out that you aren't paying your due amount, then you will go to prison. And we've got Chainalysis.
I agree with the panel here. The government, they can't ban Bitcoin. It's just technologically not possible. It's like banning water. They'd have to turn off the internet. But Josh is right. They can turn off the off and on ramps. And the way I like to think of that is Bitcoin quality of life. Right now, Bitcoin quality of life is pretty good. You can buy it, you can sell it, you can trade it for some items. No one really cares. There's no real problems with it. They could make that bad, right? Coinbase is a big company, but they could make it bad for them. They could shut this down. So I think they will. And there'll be a time where Bitcoin is kind of the underground money. It's like, oh yeah, I only use that when I do my underground stuff. Usually I use Fedcoin, but you know, I got a little bit of Bitcoin on the side for my underground stuff. And again, Bitcoin doesn't care. Bitcoin just keeps making blocks, being out there, not worrying about this. Fedcoin's invented. Fedcoin goes up and down. People start liking Bitcoin, not liking Bitcoin. It doesn't care. But yes, they can make your quality of life worse. So if you like your exchanges right now, or you can easily sell 1,000 for rent or whatever, if you like telling people it's easy to install the apps, they can ban the apps from the App Store. They can ban the exchanges from using your bank accounts. They can do all these things. And I think they will do all these things, or it'll be too late, and they'll adopt the nice strategy that Dan's suggesting. But again, I don't know. Are they that smart? I don't know if they're smart enough to pull back and lose control like that.
Yeah, but I think that will completely do. They don't have to ban it. People are convenient. Corporate clients who are now going into Bitcoin, they really take care to do it in a correct, formal way. So most of the people outside who will get onboarded, who are already like in the onboarding process and will get onboarded in the future, like they are so convenient and they will so go along with the regulation that they will, by controlling the off and on ramping, they will have like 90% of the market. Yeah, and that will do. It's the same with travel regulations. Yeah, if you go for international travel, yeah, you don't see yourself controlled in the way they say it in the media. So it's okay. Yeah, they're controlling 90% of the people who don't go for travel anymore. Yeah, but you can do it. And the people like your followership here that is familiar with the technology and with the software and yeah, and the design of Bitcoin, they will always have a way to go the other way, you know. And so it's a coexistence, and it's okay. Why not?
Well, that's what Andreas always said. He said we would hide our transactions in cat pictures. And that's what Josh was kind of alluding to with NFTs, but then the NFTs are even more complicated because you could hide a Bitcoin transaction in an NFT, in an item, in an item, in an item. So there's all kinds of options there. But instead of asking the traditional question, you know, can the government ban Bitcoin? Because we always say, you know, no, they'd have to turn off the internet, or they could just turn off the on and on ramps, right? They could make your life really miserable and uncomfortable. More importantly, now that we have new friends, does this put a new layer between the government banning Bitcoin? Because they'd have to have a hearing and they'd have to say, Michael Saylor, Elon Musk, and Jack from Twitter, you're big Bitcoiners. Obviously, would they speak up for us? Would it make a difference? Dan, Eve, now that Bitcoin has powerful friends.
Yeah, I think so. And if the balance sheets of those companies at the time are doing okay because of their Bitcoin holdings, you know, if the government ultimately wants money, and money wants power, and money gives them power, and going back to that insane article from like 2017, which is like, oh, all those Bitcoiners are getting hilariously rich, but you're not. That with the Christmas Bitcoin jumpers or whatever. Bitcoin obviously makes a lot of people wealthy, and and so why would you restrict your nation's ability to get wealthy and for the government to get wealthy off of the nation? You should be almost, no, we're not encouraging it, but there should be a leniency, because if this is bringing money into the country, then it will also make money leave the country. If you were to ban it, those services will go away. They will go to other countries, unless there was this global ubiquitous slam down, in which case, I don't know, I'd love to see the whack-a-mole in that case, and how big that multi-armed whack-a-mole would need to be. But it ultimately, it still wouldn't work, because they'd have to turn the last computer off.